Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex here, and you're watching the Marvel edition of the Ragin Nation show. This is just a web series where we talk about all things that matter to me in the world of Marvel films. This is episode number 91, and in this episode, I got a big update for you guys. What we're going to do is we're going to recap on some of the news tidbits that have been going around over the past week. But first, we got to cover something big that happened in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that is Captain America Civil War has officially wrapped principal photography. They're done filming, and now they're going to move on to post-production. And what's great about that is that now they can officially release some promotional material for this film. And we already started receiving it. Through Jeremy Renner's official Twitter account, he tweeted what he's going to look like, or rather what he looks like in Captain America Civil War. And check this out. Here is Hawkeye in his new costume. It's very different. It ditches the red and black, which we got so accustomed with in the Avengers films. And now here he is in a blue costume, which kind of goes in line with the rest of his team. I'm going to show you the rest of his team in just a second, but I feel that this color costume actually goes quite well with him being part of the Captain America team, which I'm going to show you in just a second. What I want to talk about next is the fact that Ant-Man is on his shoulder. Now, if you've seen Ant-Man, you already know that Ant-Man is going to appear in Captain America Civil War because of that that Easter egg scene which happened at the end credits. So we know that's going to happen. We just didn't know which team he's going to be on, and looks like he's going to be on Team Renner, or rather Team Captain America. And what is also very awesome about this is that I'm really hoping, in fact, I'm praying that we're going to see a scene where Ant-Man is going to be sitting on the tip of Captain America, or rather Jeremy Renner, or rather Hawkeye's arrow, and then Hawkeye is going to wind up and then shoot Ant-Man out. I'm hoping for that scene. It's a scene I really, really want to see, and hopefully we get it. All right? So let's take a look at the team. We have, for Captain America's team, we got Captain America, Hawkeye with Ant-Man. We also, of course, have Falcon, and also Winter Soldier. I believe they help him find himself, and now he's a part of the Captain America team. And also we have Emily Van Camp as Agent, I forgot her number, but she's Agent something, and she appeared in Captain America Civil War. All right, and check this out. Look in the background. Okay, look at the background. What is that? What do you think that is? Okay, is it one of their those Shield fighter jets? Is that what it is? Originally, that's what I thought. But then I took a closer look, even though you can't see that much, and then something occurred to me. We got somebody flying out there, all right? And Falcon flies, and also Falcon has a buddy that flies, and its name is Red Wing. Red Wing is his Falcon that he mentally controls through, like, telepathy, or he can control him mentally, okay? But I'm sure in this version of Red Wing, we're going to see him as technology. He's a piece of a tech, which is going to fly around and is going to be his buddy, all right? So we're going to see Red Wing. That is sick, okay? That is awesome. I already love Falcon, and I'm going to love him even more. Of course, he's wearing his new costume, and we're getting Red Wing. And look at this team. This team is complete, okay? Now let's move on to the other team. Team Stark, Team Iron Man, okay? We got Iron Man. Of course, we're going to get War Machine. What's very surprising, though, is that we have Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow. I expected Black Widow to be on Team America, Team Captain America. I really expected that. But it's a bit of a surprise to see her on Team Iron Man. After all, I guess they did introduce her character in Iron Man 2, so you see the bond there. But I thought that, she had another bond with Captain America. And then, of course, there's Black Panther and also Vision. Paul Bettany is going to be in this film. Now, what about the rest of, I don't know, what about Hulk? Or, whose team is he going to be on? But Black Panther, we saw a behind-the-scenes photo where we saw what's his name, Winter Soldier chasing him. But I was really, really surprised to see Vision here, because I didn't even know Paul Bettany was going to be a part of it. But he's in it. Now, let's take a look at this other concept art here. And now we have the teams clashing at each other. I feel that, of course, Captain America is going to go up against Iron Man, okay? War Machine, he's probably going to go up against, I don't know, well, I'll get back to that. But definitely the two females are going to go up against each other because their lack of actual superhero abilities. So it's going to be more of a martial arts fight. I think that Winter Soldier is going to go up against Black Panther. And then a combination of Hawkeye and Ant-Man is going to go up against Vision. And then we're going to have Falcon and Red Wing go up against War Machine. That's what I'm thinking. All right? And I think that's a pretty good matchup. So there you have it. This is looking really, really cool, and I'm really, really excited about this. Now, before all of this happened, before principal photography wrapped, one of the biggest news to occur during the filming of Captain America Civil War was the fact that Tom Holland joined the filming in Berlin. I thought that Tom Holland was going to appear in only an end credits scene to set up, or rather to tease the Spider-Man film, Spider-Man the New Avenger, which comes out in 2017. But then later on we found out that he has more scenes. He went in to do some more filming, and apparently it's a really interesting, unorthodox fight scene, all right? And then recently we just found out, it has been reported that Tom Holland joined the team, or rather the crew, over in Berlin, Germany to film some more scenes. So I'm wondering, how does that fit in? I mean, they're really setting it up for Spider-Man, the New Avenger. In fact, Peter Parker's character is part of a larger story, because of the fact that he's making such a presence in Captain America's Civil War. So maybe that's why we're not seeing him in this concept art. He in no way appears in any of this concept art. We're not shown that he's going to be either on Team Iron Man or Team Captain America. We're not shown that at all. I think because of that, it's kind of a hint as to what his character is going to be like. He does not take sides. He's actually still learning he's learning about whether or not he should even take a side. That's why we're going to get his solo movie first, because he hasn't actually joined the Avengers, and that is also why he doesn't appear in any of that concept art. At least that's what I believe, okay? So that is pretty awesome. I'm really excited about this film. Captain America Winter Soldier is a film that I really, really enjoyed, and I think it's one of the top Marvel Cinematic Universe films out there. And Captain America Civil War follows up on that. So this is a film that I'm really, really anticipating. So very, very exciting stuff. All right, so let's move on to talk about some other news tidbits in the world of Marvel films. And continuing with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we got to talk about Avengers Age of Ultron, and specifically the Blu-ray release. It has just been announced in an official press release that Avengers Age of Ultron will be released on Blu-ray on October 2nd. And if you're shopping at Best Buy, they have Best Buy exclusives, and that is the Steelbook case will come in two different versions, an Ultron version and also a Vision version. So I just want to put that out there for you guys. If you guys want to know about store exclusives, I think the best version to get is the Steelbook version at Best Buy. I'm going to go for the Vision version. All right, what are you guys going to go for? Let me know in the comment section below. Moving on, let's talk about something else that could be happening in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that is a Blade film. After all, Wesley Snipes did mention at Comic-Con that he's in talks with Marvel to possibly come back again for Blade. Now, Blade was originally produced by New Line Cinema, which is a sub-studio from Warner Brothers, okay? So, if Blade, or rather Wesley Snipes, were to come back as Blade with Marvel, it would be kind of a reboot, all right? I kind of didn't expect this to happen, but Wesley Snipes is Blade. I can't think of another actor to play Blade, and if he's going to come back as Blade, it's going to be kind of weird to have him continue where he left off from Blade Trinity. All right, I think they're going to start fresh, kind of like how Spider-Man is starting fresh. It's actually a reboot of the character. I think that if Wesley Snipes comes back, it's going to be a reboot of the character. But there is a rumor that just got reported recently that if Blade does come back, the rumors suggest that it's going to be Blade and his daughter. Blade's daughter is being introduced to in the comics, and because of that, it's a suggestion. It is rather suggested that he's going to be returning into the live-action universe with his daughter. And I think that if that happened, ultimately they're going to phase out the Blade character and have the cinematic universe version of his character based on his daughter. Okay, so that's going to be pretty interesting if they really pull that off. All right, and I think that the best way to introduce the daughter character is, of course, having Blade in it, so that we can transition into the story of his daughter. So that's what's happening. I mean, the last time we saw Blade was in a TV series, which was produced for Spike TV. Man, that one sucked. It wasn't very good at all. So it kind of just went downhill. So they gotta bring it back to life. I mean, they, after all, own the Blade character. So, I mean, they could do another TV series, but I think that some of the non-fans will just think of it as like a retelling of the Spike TV version, which was not very good. So I think they shouldn't do that. You don't want to hurt the property. So I think they should just bring them into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. All right? Moving on, let's talk about what's going on at 20th Century Fox. And I think it is time to finally put the nail in the coffin. Fantastic Four went into its third weekend of its theatrical release. It is no longer at number 10 of the box office. It made $50 million domestically. It's probably going to cap off right there, most likely, because nobody cares at this point. And it made $83 million worldwide, bringing in a total of $133 million worldwide. Okay? The movie's production budget was $120 million, but it's most likely got $100 million or maybe a $50+ million advertising budget or marketing budget. And so it's a bomb. Unfortunately, it's a critical and box office bomb. It is a failure. This is not profit at all. They lost money from this film. Okay, they totally lost. This was a big I guess write-off for 20th Century Fox. But on the bright side, they still have the license. They have the license, which they're going to hold on to. I don't know what they're going to do with that. So on the bright side, I mean, it's not good for us fans, but on the bright side of 20th Century Fox, they still had something to gain from that, and that is they didn't lose the license, okay? Even though I know a lot of fans want the license to go back to Marvel, but from the perspective of 20th Century Fox, they made this movie to keep the license, and so they did it. It was garbage, and then now, well, they got what they asked for, okay? Moving on, let's talk about Gambit, another film from 20th Century Fox, which reportedly has a $154 million budget, which is insane, you know, because they're starting off like a brand new character into the 20th Century Fox Marvel Universe. That is a bit high. That's going to be quite a gamble. The only thing we know right now is that Rupert Wyatt is directing. He directed Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Of course, Channing Tatum is playing the title character, and now they finally have a love interest. We got a lead female role, and that's going to be played by Léa Seydoux, and she will be playing Belladonna Boudreaux, okay? And who in the comics is Gambit's love interest and also a member of the Assassin's Guild. Okay, so we're going to see her kicking some ass as an assassin. And what's great about that is that she's actually a pretty kick-ass female character. Because I saw her, or at least I'm sure some of you guys saw her in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. And she was in probably one of the best, like, one of the top 10 femme fatale fight scenes. I mean, that was a really good fight scene between her and Paula Patton. It was a really quick one, but it was still pretty vicious. Okay, so she can kick ass, all right? The only other times I saw her is in Inglourious Basterds, and she's going to appear in Spectre, the new James Bond film. So, you know what? It's looking pretty solid right now, all right? Moving on, let us talk about X-Men Apocalypse. X-Men Apocalypse has also officially wrapped principal photography, and the latest news that I have to tell you guys about is that it will apparently feature the Blob. Fred Dukes, the character, the alter ego of the Blob, or the original human form of the Blob. It looks like he's gonna make an appearance. Now, the last time we saw Fred Dukes was when he was played by Kevin Durant in X-Men Origins Wolverine. And it was a guy in a fat suit with a lot of makeup, alright? Apparently, if he really is going to appear, he's not going to be in a fat suit with a lot of makeup. He's not going to be CGI. It's going to be a 540-pound French-Canadian dude. As reported in comicbookmovie.com, this is where I got the info, it's going to be a 540-pound French-Canadian dude, alright? Who's probably not a well-known actor. They probably put out a casting call looking for someone who's at least 500 pounds. They got the guy. They're going to give him some acting skills, and then he's going to say a couple of lines. It's probably not a big part, and then that's that. All right? So I think that it's just going to be a bit of a cameo appearance. And finally, the last thing we're going to talk about is Wolverine, the third installment in the solo Wolverine film franchise. And Hugh Jackman has been tweeting. He expressed his excitement about playing Wolverine for one last time. And a lot of people were, there were a lot of interviews talking about it. And one of the interview question is, what can we expect to see in Wolverine 3? And he couldn't really tell us much, except for that fans will be really, really happy because there's going to be Berserker Rage, if that means anything to you guys. It means something to me, because... and we can expect to see Victor Creed, who plays, of course, Sabretooth, a classic Wolverine comic book villain. Alright? Looks like he's coming back. He was originally played by Liev Schreiber in X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then he was also played by Tyler Mane, the wrestler, in the original X-Men film. And there's no word on who's going to be playing him. I guess it would make sense if either of them came back. But I think I don't know. I don't think it's going to be played by Tyler Mane. I'm just throwing it out there, alright? I think it's going to be played by Liev Schreiber, because after all, they got Ryan Reynolds to play Deadpool, who appeared in X-Men Origins Wolverine. So, in a sense, they're still keeping a little bit of that continuity. And you know what? Honestly speaking, I don't think it matters to me. I think that they pretty much wrote everything off with X-Men Days of Future Past. So if it's played by a different actor, as long as it looks the part and he looks like Sabretooth, then that's all that matters to me. But he said two things. We can expect to see Berserker Rage. And we can also expect to see Victor Creed, who plays Sabretooth. And there you have it. Anyways, I talked about a lot of stuff. What do you guys think about the team for Captain America Civil War, and also for the team of Iron Man? What do you guys think about that? Blade's daughter. Any comments about that? And also, do you think that Victor Creed coming back should be played by Liev Schreiber or Tyler Mane? Let me know in the comment section below. This was a pretty big episode. We talked about a lot of stuff, but this is the stuff that dreams are made of. Whatever the heck that means. But anyways, most importantly, what do you guys feel about the teams? Alright? And what do you think about the team matchup? Who do you think is going to fight who? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Other filming. Henry Cavill mentioned in an interview that Justice League will start filming in January